Mountain, Island, Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Switchblade, Stab Wound, Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Yeah.
How about now?
We're recording, baby.
Now we're recording.
My SD card keeps getting locked. I don't understand. It sits in one bag. How the hell does it slide into locked?
Get a better SD card.
SD's cards. Sorry. That was terrible.
That's a joke you would chastise me for.
But it comes from my mouth, so it's okay.
Okay. So now I understand the standard by which you measure jokes. You like yours, and you don't like mine.
I mean...
Have I sussed it out accurately?
Yeah.
All right. A perfect intro to Red Mage, Blue Mage. I'm Kenny and I play Blue.
I'm Amber and I play Red.
Are you ready for today's topic?
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about Plainsmanes. Plainsmanes.
Plainsmanes! No!
Planeswalkers. You keep saying no, but your decks that you draft say yes.
What are you talking about? I hate
had this
Planeswalkers.
Yet you draft them every single time.
I don't know. Shut up.
I guess to be fair, I was just talking about this recently with Seth, actually. Ben Stark, is a famed Magic player, years ago wrote an article called Drafting the Hard Way. I think I was talking with you about this earlier, too.
Yes, you were.
And sort of like laid the groundwork for drafting Magic. And he has this saying that I really liked, which is, you don't decide the deck that you're going to draft. The draft decides the deck that you're going to draft.
Yep.
Which is really good. It's like, set aside your preferences, set aside the thing that you like to do, and see where the cards you're being passed take you.
And sometimes you get 12 Planeswalkers, and you build a deck out of it, and you have to deal with it, and you destroy people.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I draft a red-blue aggro or a mono-red deck, or black-white weenie deck. Sometimes that happens.
It happens. Shit does happen.
Happens to the best of us. So anyway, I do you do. At the very least, you are passionate about Planeswalkers. Can we say that?
Yes, there is a fire that burns inside.
Okay,
much like a spark.
We'll get to that later on because I want to ask about. Yeah, I see the eyebrows. First, I want to talk about something juicy and flavorful.
Okay,
let's go to Flavor Town.
Okay.
Tell me
about it.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Flavor Town, home of the creamiest flavors inside of Berlin. I can't run. It is the Lurgoy.
All right.
Okay. So, we talked about Throne of Eldraine several episodes ago.
Yes.
And we made some predictions. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. The eyebrows are out of control right now. And we made some predictions about things that were going to happen. And now we know a little bit more. We've actually, in fact, gotten the very first spoiler, which we'll talk about in a little bit, for Throne of Eldraine.
I'm starting to hurt my forehead with the amount of eyebrow raising I'm doing.
You become a cartoon character. They're floating up and above your head and ascending yay unto the heavens. Stop it. So I thought today we would discuss the Planeswalkers of Eldraine, or what we know about them anyway. So, one of them we talked about in our speculation episode, which was Rowan Kenrith. In some of the preview art for the set, there was a character who obviously was Rowan Kenrith, who was first made in Battle Bond, Red Planeswalker partnered with Will Kenrith. And at the time, that's literally all I knew about this character. She looks like she fits in this world. She looks like a knight kind of person. Your jaw is dropping. You got something?
Nothing. Just keep talking.
Well, I wanted to start with the little bit of research that I did in the meantime. I just went to the wiki and read about her.
Sure.
And do you want to hear some of this?
I'm looking at it. That's why I'm making faces at you.
Yeah. So the bit that I was like, what on earth? So, Rowan Kenrith is a planeswalker from Eldraine who specializes in electric magic. She is the twin sister of Will Kenrith. So I didn't know what their relationship was, first of all. Mm-hmm. In the game, they partner so they can both be like... I don't know how fucking partner works, but who cares? They're teammates. And it turns out they are twins. Description. The young warrior mage twins, Rowan and Will Kenrith, are unique among planeswalkers in that they share a single planeswalker spark. Is this why your jaw was dropping?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start there. What do you think of that idea of sharing a...
So dumb. Why? Yeah. Okay, so I'm one goblin.
Yeah.
In a
Agreed.
A goblin of like, I don't know, they're born in litters. A litter of like 25.
Okay.
We sparked. And there's 25
Planeswalker
25
goblins.
Planeswalker goblins sharing one spark? Oh
For
my
goblins,
god!
I feel like for goblins it would be more like, have you ever heard of a rat king?
Yes! Yes!
So it would be like a goblin king. They're all fused together.
Yes! Hire us, wizards. We just made you a sweet fucking planeswalker, a tangle of goblins.
A horrifying one. So there are multiple things. I agree. I think this is stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
I have multiple reactions here. Yeah, one is that it doesn't make sense. What is a spark? To me, it's like saying there are two people that share one soul.
Yeah.
It's like what are you talking about?
No, this is when we find. So this is where we're going to explore that sparks are physical gems inside that can become physical.
There's sparks like in Transformers.
Yeah. And then also because we had Spark Harvest in War of the Spark.
It is a physical thing, apparently.
See? So they were just born with the ethereal versions of one, and if it was to be harvested, you would only get one spark.
Okay, so this reminds me of in the prequels, the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
The whole shit with the midichlorians. Do you remember all this?
Yeah.
They're like basically like Qui-Gon puts on his like power scanner, or Obi-Wan does, and he's like,
it's over
his
9,000.
midichlorian count.
It's
over 9,000.
Yes.
He has so many force units. And it's like you just sucked all the magic out of it. I think as soon as you're like, oh, a spark is like an actual, like, it's like an organ inside of you. It's like a fluid, and you can collect it.
My spark sack.
Yeah. And you can drain the spark sack
Let me
and take a shot of spark juice. That's nasty. So I don't like that it sucks the magic out.
love it.
No,
I love it
bad.
now. I want now this
There's
to
some
exist.
bougie multiverse bar that you can go to where you can drink spark juice.
Yeah, get spark kombucha. Like that'd be really great. I think.
Yeah.
Oh
what
God.
What would the name of this spark cantina be?
Do you know what the all I got?
What?
Spark you later, which doesn't make any damn sense. That's the first thing I thought of. Spark you later, which makes it's not even a fucking pun.
That's like a corporate pun where they just take a phrase and replace one of the words
Yeah,
with their
it's like
company
you would
name.
get a juice a bottle and it just says "Spark you later." It's like Sparkle is their brand.
Sparkle is better than Sparky later.
Drink Sparkle, Spark you later, and then come on.
I mean, the first thing that came to my head was no better. It was like Tony Spark, which also doesn't make any fucking sense. Welcome to Tony Sparks.
It's like a sports bar, like
Yeah.
Kilroy's or something. Kill
So
Spark.
anyway, yeah, I don't like that. The other thing that it made me think of is I don't like this thing in Magic specifically, but I honestly think it's probably a bigger thing throughout fiction, is the idea that if you're a twin, you're only half a person. Because there's like the Ugin Nicol Bolas thing
Yes.
is the exact same fucking idea.
But
these eggs of dragons fell from the heavens in the dragon storm. But this one, there were two in there, and so they are only half as big. It's like, that's not how twins works, you Nimrods.
well, and I think it's just like in Greek mythology as well, right? Like the whole story about like soulmates and shit. Mm-hmm. Roll my goddamn eyes so hard.
I mean, I get the idea that, like, twins are an obvious, like, symbol for, like, dichotomy. These two opposing forces, equal and opposite. But, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the idea. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe because it's too much of a trope.
I think it's also that, and also just because you yourself, and like me, are, like, super into autonomy. And, like, being, like, we are who we are. And
yes.
I am complete in myself, and I don't need this other entity to make me whole.
Yes, exactly. And actually, that gets right into, I was thinking just a second ago, we were talking about how the spark in my head is akin to a soul. It's this kind of intangible quality about you that is inherent to who you are. And so I don't like the idea of sharing a soul. But we have that concept in the real world with like soulmates and like the two become one. I've hated that idea. I dislike that idea where it's like, no, I'm still my own person. You know, if I get married to somebody, if I'm partners with somebody, yeah, we have this relationship, we have this thing between us, and we can be very, very close. But I am not overruled by this person. I am not you know what I mean?
Yes. Welcome to Red Mage, Blue Mage. Philosophical underpinnings.
No,
it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Which is funny because Rowan and Will are a red mage and a blue mage. I'm just now thinking.
Yuckers. Also, this image that you shows them like. So we're on the Wikipedia page. Are they holding their spark? Are they holding their spark between them?
No, she's an electric mage. Didn't you read that?
No, it just looks like they're holding hands and they're holding a shared spark. Anyway, okay.
I will say her arm looks really fucked up in this drawing.
Well, that's okay.
Something's wrong there.
It's okay.
I say this as a person who can't draw anything.
It happens. Sometimes to the best of us. An arm just isn't right.
It also happens to the worst of us, can attest. All right. So that's Rowan Kenrith. And we don't really know much. Well, we do know a little bit else. They're on a quest to find their father, the king, who went to the Five Realms. We don't know shit about the story yet.
Okay. Well, he's ice, she's electric. They're like
classic opposites.
They're like babies. They're like 17 when they went to go find their father.
Oh, I did have something else I wanted to talk about with them.
Yes.
I was thinking about this earlier as well. Mark Rosewater gets all kinds of questions on his blog, and he answers about 38,000 every single day. Mm-hmm. And one question he got a ton of during War of the Spark was about Green Planeswalker Boy and his good dog friend.
Oh, Jiangu and Mowu?
Yes.
I might be butchering the pronunciation. Apologies.
Yes, but you know what we're talking about. There's a green planeswalker, uncommon planeswalker in War of the Spark. He's a boy. He was also in another expansion set that got you and Brandon back into Magic, actually.
Yes.
And he's always accompanied by his loyal dog companion.
Yeah!
But the thing is, like, they've established previously that a planeswalker can't planeswalk another person with them or another animal with them. Because that would just make all kinds of problems for the story. It's like, anytime there's trouble, you could just whisk people away.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, you can't do that. And then when you start thinking about it, it breaks down because it's like, okay, but why can I bring all my clothes? Shouldn't I be just planeswalking naked everywhere?
Hell yeah!
Which I think would be it'd be like the Terminator, right?
Yes, exactly.
So they're like, yeah, you can take your stuff with you. You can't take other organic matter with you. And then they're like, except for this guy who can bring his dog with him.
Because soulbound.
Well, yeah, people ask Mark Rosewater, why is that? And he's like, every spark is unique. And there are sparks that do unique things.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to talk about the possibilities. I'm going to hold on to it, though. This is giving me ideas.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so we'll hold off on that. All I'll say is, when you start specifying these rules, you start drawing yourself into corners. You know me. One of the things I like best in fantasy writing, I love fantasy rules. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the things I loved the most about True Blood. I loved the rules of vampirism. And that I loved learning about that mythos. That was really cool to me. I don't know, I just love rule settings. Mm-hmm. So it really bothers me when they're just like, fuck the rules. Let's just do all kinds of crazy shit. Doesn't matter. So anyway.
Okay.
Onward.
Yes.
We have an exclusive preview card.
Well, we didn't get it. It's just out there.
That Wizards gave us.
Yeah, nope, we did not
us,
get
the community, collectively, including you and me.
Sure, it was a gift for all, not specifically, hey, we like your content. Here's a card for you to talk about, because...
But think about that.
What?
Wizards.
Yeah, because I called it. I fucking called it. Talk about this card, Kenny.
So the first preview card from Throne of Eldraine is a Planeswalker. It is Oko, Thief of Crowns. It is 1 green-blue for a Planeswalker with 4 loyalty. Here's the big ability. +2, create a food token.
Pie token. Create a pie token.
We were talking about all these different myths and a couple different cards that depicted pie, and you said pie tokens are going to be a thing.
They're going to, because do you know how important fucking food is in fairy tales?
I give you big credit. I think that was already like a ridiculously bold prediction.
Uh-huh.
And so I give you total credit for that. I think if we had taken it farther, we would have come to food. Because, pie is very specific. But you're right. Food features prominently over tons of
much. You eat a fairy food, you get trapped in fairy world.
You drink a potion, you get transformed into something.
Yes.
You
eat a mushroom, you get giant. Yes. Alice in Wonderland, all that crap.
Yes. So poison apples, like food features very, very prominently across all myths and fairy tales. So I will give you begrudging credit for that prediction. All right. Moving on. He has other abilities. +1.
No, this is the only one.
By the way, I love this Planeswalker. Okay, so it's +1. We don't know what a food token is, by the way. No idea what a food token is yet.
Yeah.
His +1. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature token with base power and toughness 3/3. And then -5, exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. So the obvious combo here being +1ing something your opponent controls to turn into a 3/3 creature, and then -5ing to switch it and get that thing for yourself, which is pretty neat. I am very curious. What do you have any guess as to what a food token is going to do?
Well, I'm assuming it's either going to. It could be. It's kind of like treasure tokens, right? It's like add a mana. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it's going to either do something similar to that, or I don't know what it would do. It tapped for something.
One thing that I'm thinking of right now. What do almost all foods do in fairy tales? I think they all have transformative powers.
That or they make you sick. So it's either going to be tap and something gets a negative to it, or tap and something turns into something. You sacrifice it and the creature becomes a food to something
right.
Not great, a frog.
Right. One thing that I think it might do is you sacrifice a food token and it blinks a creature. I think they might have they might have a lot of creatures that transform into different things.
Yeah.
And so the blinking of it would turn it into its other form.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would suss that out exactly and make it apply to a wide variety of things, but I can see a food basically saying, transform this thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I wonder if... it doesn't work with his own abilities. I was talking about Mark Rosewater earlier. I was reading his blog earlier this week, and somebody said something I agree with as well, where he said, man, Throne of Eldraine would be a great place for Transform to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
And then Mark Rosewater replied, and I think this is so true, he said, every set is a good set for Transform. Because it's such a pervasive fantasy idea.
True.
Which is one of my thoughts of why that could Transform might become perennial or evergreen someday, because it's so good.
Yeah.
But I do think this set might have it.
Do you think it would be coded as an artifact?
The food token?
Yeah, or is it something unique of its own?
See, that's the thing I don't know, because I think most of the time when you create an artifact, if you make an artifact creature token, it says that in the card.
Yeah. So this is just something new of all of its own, potentially?
Potentially. But I don't know. Maybe this also just might be a new formatting where it just says create a food token, and it's what a food token is. It's an artifact that does X, Y, and Z. In the same way that they might say create a treasure token.
Treasure token, yeah.
So, I don't know. This dude's very intriguing. And as far as the lore goes, he's a shape-shifting fae planeswalker. Mm-hmm.
Looks
Do you know... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Unseelie, probably, or Seelie Court. Because usually there's like a dark fae and a light fae, typically. And he's giving me all sorts of edgelord vibes, so probably unseelie.
Very edgelord.
Look at him.
He also
Look at those abs.
I don't know how intentional this is, but his crown that he wears is very planeswalker symbol-y.
Yep. Probably intentional.
Probably.
Just like that leaf sitting on his abs.
All right, so we know what you like about this character.
What are you talking about? I like the knife that he's holding.
You like Oko. I like Yawgmoth. Everybody's got their thing.
Also, look at his hands. Claw you. They claw you right up. Claw up that pie token. Rip into it.
Rip up my pie token, Oko.
I didn't mean for it to sound like that, but you could keep it in because it's pretty funny.
As far as the lore goes for Oko, he's like, oh, do you know what caused Oko to spark?
Somebody ate his pie.
No. People were actively trying to suppress his shapeshifter abilities.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta be like that?
Always traumatic. Always traumatic.
Yeah.
I guess the analogy is to, like, puberty almost, where it's like it's like a rough transition into whatever you're about to become.
Okay. What?
Nothing. That was rich quality commentary.
I was just thinking
Okay.
about my own puberty and how, goddamn, it wasn't that terrible.
Well, no, but it's it's an analogy, right?
Not a good one. No, it's a good one. I'm sorry. Don't put a bell in there.
I don't have to. We all can hear it. All right, so that's Oko. And the last one, just to mention, is it appears that Garruk is finally making his way back into the Magic storyline.
Is he the Beastman's?
Yes. So what do you know about Garruk's story?
He make a beasts.
Okay. He make a beast.
He make a beasts.
He hunt the beast across the multiverse. Make a spicy meatball out of a beast.
He agreed a card. Why are we talking like this?
You started it.
I did. I did not.
You said he make a beast.
But I didn't say it with like an fakey Italian accent.
What is he make a beast?
I just said he make a beasts.
What's Italian about that?
I was just talking normal.
You did the hand gesture.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god. I can't wait till we're streaming and you can't get away with these shenanigans.
Ooh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. But anyway, so he is a huntsman. He's like, his whole shtick is he traipses across the multiverse hunting larger and larger beasts. He eventually gets cursed by Liliana's artifact, which starts to make him almost demonic, and he continues to be a hunter, but now beasts are not enough. Now he's hunting the most dangerous game.
Other
planeswalkers.
Yeah, okay, I like him.
And the last time we saw him, you've played with this card, Garruk's Apex Predator, where he has like I think it's a plus ability where he kills other planeswalkers.
I can't remember off
I'm
the
pretty
top
positive,
of my head.
which is nutty and really flavorful as well.
I probably didn't get to use it because I had every planeswalker in my deck.
You did. So he's hunting the multiverse for planeswalkers, and we'll see what he's doing on out. I have no idea what he's doing.
He's hunting. He's hunting.
Well, sure,
the greatest.
But is there any? Maybe that's why. Maybe he's specifically after Oko, because Oko would be a hard.
He's a shapeshifter. He'd be hard like a beast.
Yeah. So maybe that's the whole reason he's here. Hey, like a beast.
Like a beast.
Okay, so I think we've talked plenty about these planeswalkers. I want to get into segment 2 for the day.
But there's a tab that says bullet point that says us as planeswalkers.
All right, do you want to get into that?
Well, you can't tell me that Mark Rosewater said every spark is unique, and then just blow past this bullet point that you put in the show notes. You did this. That says us as planeswalkers.
That's fine. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll just spend the whole episode doing this.
All right. I want you to go first.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You talk about you being a planeswalker. First off, what made you spark?
Ooh, good question. Are we talking about like real life, or are we making up a fiction?
Oh, are we like fan inserting ourselves into Magic the Gathering?
That's what I'm asking. How do you want to do it? Are we thinking about our real lives, or are we thinking about if I were going to write myself as like a fantasy character? What's
Both
more
are
fun?
so fun. Both are fun. Let's do fantasy one. That's more fun.
I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna do real life.
Why do you even ask me questions?
Get a taste of your own medicine, son. Well, I feel like I've got more to go on when it's like basing off my own life. What caused me to spark as a human?
I could tell you. I could probably figure out mine. It's sad though.
I think, honestly, the best answer is when I got divorced.
Really?
Well, I mean, I think this is actually a nice thing that you would like, because I think, like, you know, your sparking is like this transformative process, right? Where you come into like the full power that I didn't know that I had. Whereas, like, I got married pretty young, was in this relationship for a long time, and once this relationship ended, I went through this period of terrific growth as a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm still like in this process, basically. But it was like getting divorced was not fun, but it was this positive experience overall that led to all this growth. So I feel like this is not a traumatic event necessarily. It was just like something that happened that allowed me to, like, I don't know, just unleash like my full potential, basically.
I see. So this is going back to where I don't like when we talked about early on in the beginning of Red Mage, Blue Mage, where I really
trauma
don't.
Causes you to spark.
Yes, I don't like that people have to go through traumatic events in order to become and unleash their full potential. It's very much like what happened in Game of Thrones, how they wrote Sansa's character in the end, where it's like,
line. I'm glad all this happened to me.
I'm glad all this happened to me. No. You were always strong the entire time. You had this potential all the time. This traumatic event did not need. So, like, real talk, we're being funny right now, but, like, I personally, Amber, do not like this as a, like, here's why you have
don't like
power.
That device? Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. It's like, I understand that we as humans like to try to spin like positives to negative outcomes, and it's healthy. It's how we get over. It's how we help ourselves get over things.
Yeah.
But it's not really like I'm gonna go through all this shit and I'm gonna come out like a superhero.
Well, I thought about it at the time when I was like several times in my life when I've been dealing with hard stuff, where it's like, I'm not glad this happened. Like, if I could have learned this lesson without having to go through with this, that would have been much better, obviously.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like, did it really have? It would have the same impact. We wouldn't be able to. I don't know. But
there's
anyway,
no way to test it. Yeah.
There's no way to test it. If you're gonna talk about that kind, like that, I was thinking about like silly stuff in my past that was actually traumatic, and
You can do what you want. Be silly.
But if no, I can't. Now I'm being too real.
Now we're gonna be serious.
Yeah.
All right.
So I had a lot of events that happened in my life that I could pinpoint as, oh, this was super traumatic, especially when you talk about like when you're younger and like the scale of trauma. When you're younger, only so much has happened to you, and so those big events are really big because you only have like,
nothing to measure it against.
Measure it against, right? This is like a therapy session all of a sudden.
I think it's good. Do you want to do this, by the way?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't mind sharing this kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of something, though. There's just so many.
I went about it in, like, what yielded the most transformation. But another way to do it would be, like, you know, what can you pinpoint as, like, this is like a catalyst, almost.
Yeah, I think I know. So I've written about it before. I've written about this experience when I was in high school, and I wrote about it on my Tumblr a long time ago, where specifically this like, so I grew up in a not great childhood with parents who fought a lot, and it was specifically my dad and mom had this ridiculously bad fight where lots of screaming, lots of yelling, and then like things getting broken. And when my dad came to talk to my brother and I after, he was crying. And I was already afraid because of the fight that was happening. And then to watch my father like break down, who had like I've never seen him cry before, and then he was like hugging us and like trying to comfort us and stuff. It was like in that moment I realized that parents are people, right. And that
this is just a human.
This is just a human, and my dad is just a person, and he cries like us, and then I'm like being the one telling him, "Oh, it's okay," when I'm like nine years old, nine or 10. So I would say that's a pretty formative moment, like a part I can pinpoint in my mind in my life where like my perspective changed dramatically, right. And how I saw the world flipped. And I would say
where that you are now as like a young child, like
yes,
comforting your parent.
Was this what you thought about?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So getting real with y'all. And so now we get to talk about what our sparks do.
What our sparks do?
Yeah, because we have unique sparks.
Oh, right. So what's special about my spark? God. Now I hate this. What's special about me? You. I'm going to talk about myself. God. Do you have something in mind for yourself? Or for me? You want to do my homework for me?
So, based off of my personality, I mean, because what we've seen so far, what sparks are able to do,
like special things.
Yeah, we know that the dog and then the shared spark.
Yes. We also know Ren and 6, which is like a conjoined spark thing, or like she like can fuse into beings and take them. We don't really know much about Ren 6.
I think mine would be something stupid, like where it's like, because like planeswalkers can kind of control where they go. I think that mine would be something dumb where it's like there's a bit of randomness to it that I don't have control over. So it's like I would be like trying. Yeah, like it'd be like every.
Oh, that's another example, by the way.
Oh, okay. So
like a weird spark thing.
Yeah, where it's just like I can't control necessarily
your destination.
Yeah, at some point. Like I control a few times, but I can't keep it up consistently every time it happens.
It's like there's just a random chance you could just go like. So all planeswalkers share this in common. Like the first time they planeswalk, they go somewhere random that they have no control over.
Yeah.
So like maybe your unique thing is like randomly that just happens to you anytime you planeswalk. You might wind up anywhere in the multiverse.
And the only reason I say that is just like being real about it. It's just like mental health. Like I'm exhausted a lot of the time, and it's like I can only keep stuff going for so long, and then it's just like, oh, I'm tired, and then I end up in the couch dimension, and I just lay there.
I don't know what to say about
you can only go to immaculately clean places.
Yeah.
You can only spark to very pristine, crystalline based planes.
God, it's so lame. I hate it. I was gonna say something.
You could be on 2 planes at the same time.
Why do you say that for me?
I don't know. I just come up with cool stuff.
Just come up with cool ideas. What's the name of the character? Really taking a tangent now. I recently watched Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yes.
And I asked you, because that's one of your favorite shows.
Yes.
And I asked you, what character do you think I am from that show? And what was your first answer?
Okay, so I think I told you were Nagisa Kaoru, which was the Atom.
Right. That's not the one I'm thinking of. But maybe that's a good one, too.
I said that was like you're a combination of him and Kaji.
Yeah.
And what? You were just like upset by that.
I was mad at that. Because I was like,
why?
Well, because like at the point where I was watching the show, Kaji, is that his name?
Yes, Kaji.
It's when I'm first introduced to him, and he's just like a douchebag who's like being way too forward with people.
Winking all the time.
Inappropriate. Making out with people in elevators. It's like, that's not me. I hate this person.
Uh-huh.
But I don't, like...
Why did you bring this up?
Well, I'm trying to think of, like, that's like a personality trait that you distilled out of me
The reason why I picked Kaji specifically was because that superficial layer that you see to begin with isn't really like how he is truly.
Okay.
And so how he is truly is he does give a shit. He does care about truth and like finding out information, and that's why he's like being a double agent.
Right.
And like he really cares about Misato
Right.
and is a person who has really good qualities.
Right.
But that what you see at the beginning is, and that superficial, like, this is how he just plays it all off,
Okay. So when I planeswalk to a new plane, I take on the form of someone from that plane.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I have to convince people of who I really am.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, so what's the next feature? We should come up with our colors, too.
Oh, well, if I was going to go, like, true amber...
Who are you? I think you are red to some degree.
I would probably be some sort of red-green, honestly.
Yeah, I like that.
To be quite honest, that's who I am.
Yeah. I like that because green especially is a good addition because that's the color of, like, growth and...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
What are yours?
I mean, blue would be in there.
Yeah.
You've already mentioned my meticulous nature.
So blue-white.
You think white? I guess white cares about order.
Yes, white cares about order. When I think about white, it's a lot of, like, anthem stuff.
Do you think I give everybody +1/+1?
I think so.
Aw.
What?
That's nice.
I think I've told you that before. Like, you're a really good, like, super supportive person, so...
Man, this episode is too real.
Too wholesome.
This is too real for me.
Okay. See, you know what? You
No, it's
cannot
good.
pin it on me.
It's-
because I gave you the fucking option to choose fantasy or real, and you're like, oh, gonna do real because you want to do fantasy.
It's good. This is good. All right, so I think the last thing, and we don't have to do all of them, but give me a taste, give me a sample of some abilities you have. You don't have to tell me mechanically what you do, but like in this fiction that we're creating, what would be your abilities?
This is the hardest creation. This is
Well, you are-
This is design a card, and I section.
We don't have to do the mechanic part. So here's my thing. Let me just give you a thought. You are a super, super creative person.
Okay.
And so I think whatever your ability is, it has to be making a thing.
Yeah, making pie tokens.
Sure. You have made pie before. You hate pie.
I don't like pie. Only 3 kinds. You ready? Mm-hmm. Since this is a get to know you episode, apparently.
It really is.
Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, strawberry rhubarb pie.
All good pies.
Key lime pie.
That's not a good one.
It's a great one. It's fine. I like lemon flavor. I like lime flavor. Okay, so abilities. Well, yes, I have to create something. Mm-hmm. I should be adding mana to something.
Yeah?
I feel like. And then something big.
Yeah, what's your big ability?
Probably giving life back to myself. Well, that's a white thing, isn't it? Could be. That's more of a white. I'm not really a destructive I think the thing about me is that it's like this balance of destructive and constructive tendencies. So it would have to be like
Maybe
something
it's like sacrificing permanence and you get
yeah,
tokens.
I think it's something I have to sacrifice to do something to get stuff. Yeah,
Like sacrifice
is kinda
any number
sad.
of whatever and you get 5/5 beast.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to be something like that, just because it's like, and I mean, it's kind of sad. I'm thinking about this in a too real sense, just because it's like,
You're thinking
just
about this
balancing-
dichotomy.
yeah. So I think that's my big thing is like, yeah, definitely that. Create, adding,
Destroy.
and then destroying in order to create more.
I think that you would be like, if I can envision you as some sort of planeswalker, you're some sort of like spirit of like the cleansing wildfire. like
Whoa!
like
Draw
burning down the forest so that new life can grow.
Draw the card. Oh, we have to draw our cards now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What would I be? I feel like
You definitely have to do something with, like, looking forward, because all you do is think about things forward. So you have to be doing some sort of surveilling or scrying.
Scrying, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've got... that sounds like a plus ability, some sort of scrying ability and manipulating the top card somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to design an uncard. I had some idea about, like, it would force you to organize your cards based on type.
That's actually really great.
I just sound like I have OCD.
I would say...
I don't think I do.
I don't think you do either. I think you're naturally a tidy tendencies.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of my ult.
It's definitely not a control... I mean, it's not like a take over something. Like...
That's what I would design if I just wanted to play the card. But
yeah, but something specifically for the character of Kenny.
It needs to be, like you're saying, you've observed this about me, like that I'm a social creature, even though I get nervous around people.
Yeah, but you seek out social stuff.
But I'm driven for that. So, like, some sort of boosting thing. I wonder if, like, I have some, like, sort of like a Johnny style ability where I look for other planeswalkers.
Ooh.
And call them to my side.
There you go. Because that could be a search your library for,
right,
and then bring out people.
Right. Yeah. Maybe it's just literally that. Just like search your library for a planeswalker card and put it into play.
5 planeswalker cards.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's too much.
I think if I were designing it for fun,
that's a -20.
I think if I were designing it for fun, it would have to be, you have to build up to that, and then you get to tutor for a planeswalker.
Did we do is that what was the second one we did? We did a scry thing, and then there was a...
I had an unability about organizing your permanents by type.
Yeah, and okay, that's pretty good. And there should be, like, some benefit for doing that. Like, the more you have this type, you get a plus or whatever.
Right.
Right.
Or it could be, like, there's a bunch of uncards that, like, you only get this bonus while you're doing this thing.
Yeah.
So maybe you make some emblem that only works when your cards are organized that way, or something like that. Dang.
What good cards.
They're interesting cards, for sure.
What great cards that are amazing. Wizards, hire us. Pi tokens? Look at us making cards. Oh my gosh. Give me a card.
Please employ us. All right, well, good shit. Well, I've got a whole other category that we'll get to in some other episode where we're talking about planeswalkers.
This should just be next. This should be just next episode.
All right. I'll just save it back.
Yeah.
All right, well, sweet. I mean, I did not expect it to get that real, but that was kind of fun.
I feel so naked and vulnerable. Ew. Like I just planeswalked.
And left all my clothes behind.
That's my thing. I can't bring my clothes with me.
That's your thing, but it's not because you have to leave them behind.
It's a choice.
I choose to.
I choose to planeswalk naked.
I want to enter the world as I entered my own world, naked.
Naked and crying.
And covered in goo. All right. Well, this is our episode of Red Mage, Blue Mage. If you guys want to get in contact with us, you can tweet at us at RedBlueMTG, email us redmagebluemage@geekspective.com. You can tweet at me at Wolfmere.
And you can tweet at me at Rocket Orca.
Until next time, I will be representing Counterspell.
And I'm naked.
Good day.